Well, Japanese officials insist the country is not abandoning the whaling season in the Southern Ocean, despite recent reports. This is Sea Shepherd's vision here of the Japanese whaling vessel Nishin Maru colliding with its boats yesterday as they were trying to block a refuelling operation. Japan has now released its own footage of the encounter. Sea Shepherd claimed that Japan had temporarily suspended the hunt in the wake of the clash, but Japan's Consul General in Melbourne says they've only suspended refuelling activities. There are calls for our Navy ships to step in, but they're falling on deaf ears.
We've got a Navy to uphold the law. We are an international citizen. When a citizen sees that the law is being broken, it becomes an obligation to uphold that law.
Under what authority and with what powers?
Japan's permit for scientific whaling expires in 18 days. Well, joining me now in the studio is the Federal Environment Minister, Tony Burke. Thanks for staying up so late tonight. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
Can we just be clear, do you think that these activities are happening in Australian territorial waters or not?
They're happening in our Antarctic waters. We claim that as our territory. We also have signed a treaty with all the other Antarctic nations to guarantee that no country will assert that territory against another. So that's the basis of there being no mining in Antarctica, for example. So the whole concept of sending the Navy in or something like that, if you do that, you actually unpick the entire Antarctic system.
But am I right in saying that countries that do make those claims do, at times, patrol and monitor those waters?
Oh, and we've got monitoring stations. I've spent some time in one of the stations last year out at Casey. We've got stations there. That's part of our Antarctic claim, but no one enforces those against citizens of other countries. But you don't need...
Even if the activities are illegal?
Correct. And that's how we've managed to keep the Antarctic as an area without mining. Now, you don't need to get to it being Australian territory before this is illegal. I know you referred to Japan having a permit that closes off in 18 days. That permit is issued by Japan. It's a self-issued permit that they have. The only exception to the prohibition on whaling on commercial whaling is meant to be if somehow a whale gets killed while you're conducting scientific research.
This is in Australia's rescue zone, though, right?
Correct.
So there would be responsibility on our part if something did go wrong to provide the resources to rescue.
That's right. Which is exactly why.
Why not try and prevent the drama in the first place?
Which is exactly why the Maritime Safety Authority is conducting its investigation. It's exactly for that reason.
But that's never going to prevent this. I mean, it's ongoing. It's been going on every summer for as many years as I can remember. Why not do something to actually prevent these situations from occurring?
And that's exactly what we've done. We're a government, and governments deal in courts, not in car parks. We don't take it out of the car park to have the argument, we take it to court, which is what we've done.
Cameron, you know as well as I do, you spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year patrolling the waters on the northern periphery of the country to prevent refugees coming in. Why not put a boat down there and prevent this sort of thing going on?
Well, I've told you at the start, and the truth remains, if any country that does that, if you were to, you'd unpick the whole Antarctic treaty system. And I don't think anyone would say the government was real smart if we went and did that and then started seeing the foundations for conservation across the entire Antarctic start to be unpicked, because the nation that actually 20 years ago under Bob Hawke led the way to put the prohibition on mining was now unpicking the whole treaty system. We want the whaling to stop.
What makes you think Japan would abide by a ruling of the ICJ when they're so unwilling to abide by the rules as they stand currently?
They wouldn't be turning up to the ICJ, to the International Court of Justice, unless they were willing to abide by it. That's the case that matters. There is nothing scientific about what Japan's doing, and Australians and myself are rightly offended and just find disgusting what they're doing. Using a harpoon so that you can kill a whale, chop it up and put it on a plate has nothing to do with science.
Tony Burke, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Good to be with you.
Appreciate it.